Hello everyone, my name is Henriette from Program Strings, and I'm absolutely delighted today because I'm going to show you how to fit a new violin string or viola string. The principle both on violin and viola are both the same, and I'm going to show you this in a step-by-step approach. So we're going to go through all the different steps necessary to fit a new string, and hopefully my idea is that you can join in while you watch this video. You can stop it and start it, and together we will get your new string on your violin or viola. So great that you're here today. It's lovely to meet you, and let's get started. You can probably tell that I've got a violin here that I don't usually use, and it's only got 3 strings, and I want to get it ready so that I can start playing it again. This is a lovely old violin, and it sounds gorgeous, but you need 4 strings to be able to play it. So I put all my things out ready to be used, and I'm going to show you what I've got. So I'm just going to put the violin down while I do that, and then I'll show you all the things that I've put ready in preparation for my new string fitting. You can see what I've got here. It's a couple of things. I have got some surgical spirit, some alcohol, cleaning alcohol you can call it, and that is for cleaning the strings and for cleaning the fingerboard as well. I'll do that while the string is off because it's just handy to have it ready, and I use this cloth for that. Then I've got another cloth here ready to cover the violin, the varnish with, because we don't want to drip any of this surgical spirit onto the varnish of my violin. Okay, so I have that ready to protect the violin. And then I've got some peg preparation here. This is a magical stuff because it helps my pegs run more smoothly into the peg holes, and at the same time it makes it hold the string much better so that it doesn't go out of tune quite so much. And then of course I've got my new E string here. I've got a ball end E string because that is what my tailpiece is made for, so that fits nicely onto the tailpiece. It might well be that you need a loop end violin E string, but you can check that on your own violin and you will see how it works. So first of all, I'm going to prepare my violin ready for fitting the string, and as you can maybe see in the peg box here, there is still a leftover end of my broken string. I'll get that out first, otherwise I can't fit my new string. And now I'm just going to tidy up the whole thing a little bit. So I'm taking the peg out, and let me put some peg preparation on the peg first. So you get your peg, your heel out, and put some on there. Now this is, like I said, this is magical stuff because it fills up any unevennesses in the peg hole, and at the same time it makes it stick. So on the one hand it makes the peg run more smoothly in the peg hole, and on the other hand it just stops it from slipping unnecessarily. So what I do, I've now put the peg preparation on the peg. I'm putting it in the peg hole, and I'm just giving it a good twist so that all that peg preparation, that peg paste, gets into the inside of the peg holes. And you can probably see, if you look inside, I'm not sure you can see it on the video here, but my peg hole is all dark on the inside. If you can see some light colored wood, you probably need some more peg preparation. Now you can clearly see on my peg where the paste has come off and from where it's rubbed off onto the peg hole. So I'm just going to put a bit more on because I think that might do its job well and just make it run a bit more smoothly. There we are. So that's sorted. And again, I run it inside the peg hole. Ah, yes, that feels a lot more smooth. So that runs really nicely, and that's ready to tie the string in a minute. Now, next I'm going to, while the string is off, I'm going to just give the fingerboard a little bit of a clean, because you can see there is some residue here from some rosin, and I can take that off And I'll take that off with some surgical spirit, but surgical spirit is nasty stuff and it will dissolve the varnish, so I don't want any spillage of the varnish onto the varnish. So I'm just going to cover my violin with a cloth so that even if I accidentally spill a little bit, it doesn't actually affect the violin. So I'll just put this down a minute, and I'm just going to put some surgical spirit or some alcohol Catenatis, or you might even use some perfume if you like a nice smelly violin. You can use that as well. Just pop some on and see if I can dissolve that little bit of varnish that's fallen onto my fingerboard, and all sorts of other nastiness as well will take off. So that's nice and clean, whilst we have got the space free while the string is off. That doesn't quite come off, but that's okay. In any case, that's cleaner again than it was before. Okay, so now we finish the preparations for putting the new string on. I'm just going to get my new string out of its little pocket. I tend to keep these little envelopes that the strings come in because I tend to write the date that I change the string on these little envelopes, so that I have a record of when I changed my strings. Generally, I'd say strings keep for a long time, and you should replace them then, well, maybe once a year or so, or when it goes out of tune. But generally, I change my strings about once a year, I'd say. Bear in mind, you never change the strings all four in one go, because strings will stretch a little bit when you put them on. And having four strings that stretch all at the same time is perhaps not the easiest way for playing. So change one, and then a week or two later change another one, and then a couple of weeks later change another one again, if you want to replace all the strings on your violin. Now, I find it easier to fit this end first, so I'm going to put the ball end into my adjuster. I'm going to see if I can show you that like that. This actually fits in really well. And you can see there is a little bit of see-through little cover that goes onto the bridge in a minute, but for now I'm not too worried about it. I'm just hooking it into the adjuster here, and then hold the string fairly tightly so that it won't flip out again whilst I sort out the top. Now when I sort out the top, you want to turn the peg so that that little hole where the string goes in is at the front. Now this one is not so easy because the hole is quite far in. I'm just going to see if I can do that. So I'm sticking the string into the hole of the peg, and then I'm going to give it a little bit of a twist, and I'll show you in a minute how I do that. Let me just get it fixed there. Now, if you have a look at the peg box and you have a really close look, you can see that the G and D strings, they are all coming out of the peg box, neatly lined up on the left hand side of my peg box. A and E should come out very neatly tied on the other side, so next to the side of the peg box, so that that peg box is always very neat and tidy, and the strings don't cross over there. But when they cross over, they start to rub, and you may damage your strings because they rub as you tune your violin. Okay, so G and D always come out on the left hand side of the peg box, and A and E always come out on the right hand side of the peg box. But there is a bit of a catch, because most strings have that coloured bit here at the top, and usually they're a little bit too long. So what I do as I wind it, I want to get one winding out of the way. So if you have that little hole in the peg where you put the string through, go one winding the wrong side, as it were. In my case, I've wound it towards the middle, so to the left side. And now, once I've done that, I'm going to wind it so that all the windings come very neatly next to one another for the last one to come out on the right hand side of the peg box. And you can see that it's already going that way. Let me see if I can show you that more clearly. There we are. Oh, wow, I'm not sure if you can see that all right. See, that's coming out next to the side of the peg box there. So I'm going to wind it up a little bit more. Okay, now that is secure. That's much better at the top. And now it's come away at the bottom. So I'm putting it back in. That doesn't fit now. I'll just wind it a little bit more. There we are. Now I've got it in at the bottom and at the top, but my string is way too long, but I keep it tight so that it doesn't spring back and gets loose either side. So I'm holding it with my thumb, as you can see. And now I'm going to wind it up slowly. I should perhaps better show you this way. And now I'm nearly there, as you can see. It's not completely tight yet, but got it right here. And now I'm going to check that my my string fits neatly into the groove here at the nut. And if you find you want to just make that run a little bit more smoothly, what you can do is with a bit of pencil lead, just pop a little bit of pencil lead here in the top groove, because that will make it run. That's really graphite. That will make the string run more smoothly through that little groove in the nut there. So I'm measuring it, I'm fitting it in there very nicely. And now I'm also checking, hang on a minute, I'm also checking that it fits nicely into that groove on my bridge. And I've got this little see-through little thingy around my string, and I'm going to put that on there because it protects my bridge from the string slicing right through, you see. So I'll put that there. But when you do that, I'm just going to see how clearly you can see that. There we are. There. That little protective little thingy, I don't know what that's called, that is at the back of the bridge. So when I'm bowing, I'm not going to touch that plastic thingy with my bow. So it is flush with the front of the bridge right there. Okay, now I can tighten my string even further and then tune it up. And now I'm just going to check that my bridge is still upright, which it is, because you can actually, if you're not careful, just knock the bridge forward by pulling too hard when you tune with the pegs. And that is about it. Now it's a matter of tuning up. And when you tune it up, when you tune up a new string, tune it up very slowly because it will stretch. So if you tune it up bit by bit, it will actually be all right. No, other strings may go out of tune when you tune it. That feels better. There we are. And there's my new string fitted. I should really enjoy playing this violin. Now for the first couple of weeks or days, depending on how much you play, that string will stretch a little bit, and it may even sound a little bit raw initially, but the more you play, the more mellow it becomes. So good luck, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Lovely to see you. Come and visit us at www.proamstrings.com for some more violin videos, violin technique, Skype lessons, video exchanges. I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.